Hey guys, so we just wanted to let you know that this is gonna be an audio only episode. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're not gonna, we don't need, yeah.
We won't give you the visuals.
We won't give you the visuals.
We just look too good, and we just wanted to save the glow-up edits of us till the end.
We're too sexy. We didn't want to show you guys just because I know you guys would go feral over us, and we just really wanted to be demure. We wanted to be very mindful.
And cuteness, cutesy.
And cutesy, demurtsy, and all the above. Anyways.
All right, this is Anxiety After Hours, episode 3.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we'll
enjoy. See you later. Bye.
Welcome, everyone. My name's Coley, and this is
Hunty. I was telling Coley, I think the best way to introduce ourselves is talking about our most embarrassing stories.
I know. They had this like little icebreaker in college, and you're like, oh my god.
Whenever I got like any like scary questions during like, it's just the icebreakers in general?
Or fun fact.
Oh my gosh, I would try to think so hard, even though I knew half these people did not give a fuck. They were literally like, okay, and I would like really think, I'm like, what would make me sound the coolest? Like,
no, but like the thing is, the people that didn't care, they had a whole list. They're like,
that's so true.
Like, I guess I touched all 7 continents last summer.
Literally, they're like, yeah, like I kind of just like am a prodigy, but like it's no big deal.
Mine was, I switched my Colgate toothpaste to a new tube this morning. So
wow, no, she's cool. I want to be friends with her. Yeah. No, okay, so I guess Coley, I'm gonna ask you right now, what is the most embarrassing story that you can think of that you'd like to share to the class?
Okay, well, I had 2 because they weren't funny embarrassing, so I might as well just cancel it out.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, but I'm gonna start with one that happened. I'll just start mild. So this one, I worked at like, oh wait, I'm not gonna say where I worked.
Okay, yeah.
But I worked with people. So I was working with a blind person.
Right. Okay.
They couldn't see. Like,
right.
They just couldn't see. And
totally. They were blind.
Yeah. And I was guiding them. I was guiding them with my arm. And I just kept like, I didn't know what to talk about. So I kept like, I kept word vomiting. So I was embarrassed by my word vomit. So then I finished the sentence with, well, you can't see, but you could definitely hear my personality. Like, why? Why?
I wish there was one where it was like, oh. Okay, now that one was kind of crazy.
okay, but yeah, that was like my surface level one.
Honestly, okay, yeah. I feel like that one, I mean, that one would haunt me, but like I get where you were coming from. You just wanted to like fill in the silence.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah.
And that was that.
And that's that, and that's okay though. You know.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. Okay, so my most embarrassing story, I have too many, but I try to black out on all of them. So, like, sometimes I don't know. Okay, but the one I thought about that I want to talk about today is, okay, there is this one time I was, like, I was in Colorado and I was, like, moving back, so I was just visiting some friends, and then everyone was kind of, like, giving hugs to each other, you know, and they greet each other. And then it comes around to, like, my friend's boyfriend. I've never met him, and everyone was just hugging each other. So I just, like, reached in for a hug, and he was reaching for a handshake, and then I was like, I'm a hugger. And then I proceeded to hug him. And it was, like, it felt like it was silent everywhere. And, like, I just flashed in my eyes, and I was like, whoa. I was, like, all dizzy. I'm like, what happened?
You unlocked a different side of your brain.
No,
and you're like, customer service, Steve.
And what? I'm not a hugger. I don't hug everyone. Why did I say that? Like, that was so crazy of me.
Oh my God.
And I think about that all the time. In fact, Isaac will bring it up frequently, and it literally haunts me, and I can't. I'm literally like red just like talking about that.
When I meet your dad, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm a hugger, and make eye contact with you while I hug you.
Yes. No, but the thing is, he is a hugger, so he'd be like, me too. So he would like not even think twice.
I'm just gonna do that to you before every.
Just like, I'm a hugger.
Oh my God.
Okay, that was, yeah, I mean, Is that relatable, guys? Have you done that before?
Or the little you're
like I totally could have
high
just been like I could have just stopped what I was doing and just was like, but no, I was too in it. I was like, I'm a hugger, so I just kept going.
You're like halfway, like no turning back.
Literally, it was horrible. But I was gonna say, what is your other embarrassing story that you were talking about?
So this one happened a while ago, and this is kind of like not embarrassing on my end. Well, maybe it is. It's just like, girl, what are you doing? Sit down, touch some grass. But
Dude, I'm
there
scared.
there was this guy I used to like at the time, and I guess you could say more than liked him, but it's whatever.
It was
But-
more than that, guys. It was more than that.
But okay, so let me preface this by saying this happened more than once. So if you are that guy thinking it's you, it probably isn't. You know what I mean? So, but
Period. Tell him.
tell who? Just
Oh.
kidding. No, but he was getting really emotional to me about like something that happened in his family on why this person just didn't like appreciate them and love them enough, and I didn't know how to handle that. Like, I mean, I don't know how to put it into words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I want to be there for him, but
Totally.
I'm not a hugger. Like I'm like you. I'm not a hugger.
I'm not a hugger either. I don't know why I said that.
And then after the call ended, like 3 hours later, I was still stuck on that topic. So I went online, I bought a book, and it was literally about mommy issues and how to like help with the psychology of not having that maternal love.
Oh my God.
To help solve his issues.
So you do the most for him. You wanted to
yeah.
see him like feel good.
I stayed up taking notes. I read the whole book, cover to back, till the author's note, you know.
So the author's note is crazy.
And then that way, when he woke up that morning that I stayed up through, I could help him.
Oh
My schedule, I was ready. Pull up my notes. Couldn't make the call.
She had it ready. She had her notes. You took notes. You
I
took
did.
fucking notes.
And I was like, motherfucker. I deleted it.
You like
Just
tear it
kidding.
apart.
Yeah,
Fuck this shit.
but
Well, I mean, I feel like it's like that's embarrassing, but it's not. It's not. I feel like that's just also like it just shows like how much you care. You know what I
Just
mean?
like next thing I know, people are gonna be like, Joe, Joe from you.
No, I feel like that's embarrassing for him, not even you, because you would do the most for him. So it's embarrassing that he didn't even see that. Drop the mic.
It was giving Neville Papperman from iCarly.
You trying to?
Sorry, I just watched iCarly yesterday. Okay, let's move on. What's yours?
Okay,
What's yours?
my other one that I was gonna share. Actually, well, I was gonna share that one, but I just decided I just want to do a general one because I was just
Yeah.
thinking about it. Okay, this is just like something. Tell me if this has happened to you. But like when like people just like in general in public like they wave, I automatically like don't want to be rude and I'm like, what if it's for me? So I wave back almost every time. Like I'll like just even if it's like I don't like put my hand all the way up, but I just like make sure. But I like
You're
I
like-
go to like my hand just starts to spaz a little. It's like it's time.
Like,
I'm like, oh. But does that happen to you? Or no? Or no?
It actually happened to me on the way to work.
Actually.
I thought it was okay. You're gonna have to break his name out. I thought
Uh-huh.
it was
Uh-huh.
so I was crossing the street and I was like, I let him go, and I was like, I was waving so hard, and he like looks. It's not him. It was not him. It's not him. That was the one I was gonna share, but I forgot. That was the one, but I.
That
and
was
that-
crazy.
when Apple didn't work, I was like,
That's happened to me so many times.
Turned off
Especially
the
when you're especially when you're passionate about it. You do the extra like it's not that. It's not.
I told him good joke.
That was a good one. That one was embarrassing.
It happened like
That's
last
so
week.
good. Oh my gosh, that was a good one.
Okay,
Okay, that
was a
was
good one.
kind of
got him in
crazy.
tears.
And that had me in tears, you guys. Okay, so the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is I wanted to move the topic over to talking about Reddit stories. So originally, we are going to be doing like kind of like a Q&A question advice thing. So after
Yeah.
every single episode, just feel free to comment on the video, just some questions you have, and we'll go through it and answer next episode. But this one, I thought it would be fun to just share some Reddit stories.
Yeah.
So I have my computer with me. Let me just log in real quick.
Usually this segment, it would kind of be like placed with a You Got Mail.
Mm-hmm.
So there would kind of be an interruption of like a sound effect just letting us know we got mail.
Exactly.
That's where we'd pull up everything. So next episode,
So,
don't be alarmed.
Literally, and please, please, please send us questions of your advice, like for anything, like anything you want advice on and you want Coley and Hunty's input, just let us know and we will happily answer because this is fun to us. I love advice.
Okay, well, I'm really excited about these Reddit ones because sometimes they're kind of crazy.
No, there was so many to choose, but I just kind of picked the like first three that popped up. So, okay, so the first one, okay, this is kind of like a little story into it. Okay, so it says, we found our mom's secret TikTok account where she lives in an imaginary life where we do not exist. Should we confront her? And then underneath it, she just talks about her whole life. I didn't want to like write all of it, but she was talking about her mom like pretends that like she has this whole other family and like her like actual kids like don't like exist to her in this TikTok account, but like she's like I guess she has like some clout. Like I think it was like 50K, which is still kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like to think like I don't know how I would feel if my mom made a whole account like pretending I don't exist. Like that would be crazy. But what would you tell them? Like would you confront your mom? Like that one's crazy to me.
I would let them know because after I saw it, it's personal. It's personal. I'm like, okay, well, did I disappoint you some way? Like,
right?
Oh my gosh.
That one had me gagged. I was like, oh my god. And she was really going personal. Like she was actually name dropping in this Reddit, but I didn't want to overshare. So
no, I would actually probably not even talk to my mother. I'm like,
right? Like I don't even know. Like, cause I feel like if you have that many followers, like your family is bound to find out. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, especially on like TikTok now, your account will be like if you like put like your phone number or anything, like I think it'll show like suggested accounts. So like it would pop up. And that's probably how they found out. I'm assuming. I'm not really sure. But like I think literally when I like read that, I was like that had me gagged. Like I don't even know. Like I think I would want to confront my mom, but I think I would also love to play just like the I don't fuck with you anymore silent treatment.
Yeah, that's so true. That one made me pull out that mommy's issues book.
Yeah. She's like, let's talk about that.
I don't even know how to give advice to this.
After reading that book, Coley, can you provide advice for her? She's like, next question.
Next Reddit post.
Okay, so I think what the advice, like your final thoughts for that, what would you give her? Like just like give her a sentence of advice right now.
I would say obviously communicate.
Spit it out. We want to hear.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
And if she's not giving you the right closure you need, then you deserve better, girly. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can make your own family at this point.
Like, this is truly like, I feel like one of those moments where, like, just because they're family doesn't mean you have to, like, put them on this like highest pedestal. You know?
And I'm about to steal her dreams, and I'm gonna create my new family, but in real life.
Period. Yes, it's all about being in reality, like reality check for real.
Yeah.
So I think, you just do what you feel is right, and if you think confronting her is like the best thing to do, I think you do it. But if you also just want to like, I don't know, go a different route. Do that too. That was like not advice at all. I'm like literally so unbiased. I'm like, whatever you do, I support. You're valid.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but what he said, I agree.
Okay, this one also had me gagged. I literally was like, ah! Okay, so they said, how do I deal with being my best friend? Wait, fuck. I need to restart that. How do I deal with not being my best friend's best friend?
Okay, well, story of my life before I met you.
No,
So like, almost I'm not your best friend. Like,
I'm like, oh, cut the cameras.
No, but literally, I feel like back to back. Like, I was always everyone's second choice. Like, my best friend that I've met my first best friend that I met in Washington, she told me like, oh, blah blah, is my best friend. I literally we faded then and there.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
I think that's where we started fading, and we never even got that closure.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I would, if that's the case, I just wouldn't say that or let them know that, you know? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
would just treat them like a best friend. Maybe they're not your number one best friend, but they're one of your
Exactly.
best friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so treat them as that. Like, don't treat them, like, don't treat any of your friends like they're ranked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna call
That
best friend
part.
number 4.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, number 4.
that's like number 3 behavior. I have to go.
Literally. Blocked. Next.
Yeah,
No.
I would just do that.
Yeah, I feel like if it's not, yeah, kind of like what you were saying, how you were saying like just don't treat your friends like any differently. Like just treat all your friends like they're your best friends because I feel like at the end of the day that's how it should be. But like also if you like feel like they aren't like treating you as such, you really just have to communicate it. Like
Yeah.
I know it's just like one of those things where it's awkward, but it's like if they're your best friend, they will understand the conversation.
Yeah.
Period. But oh my god, that had me
With that lead
gagged.
up. You're
I
like,
know, I was
hey,
like,
uh,
I know, I wonder how
you've
they
been
found
treating
out.
you've been treating me good these past years, but not as good as I've seen you treat
Oh,
Sally. Like,
literally, like, I literally wonder how this, like, came up to them, but
well, sometimes like you enter a friendship and the two were already close,
that's true.
and like
That's
you just
true.
kind of have to like low key know your place.
Yeah,
Like,
literally. Like, I feel like it's totally a vibe thing. Like, you know when you click with someone.
yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like things that's unspoken. But at the same time, maybe this is just you realizing that, I don't know.
Well,
I would need to know context. Like, I would
yeah.
really need to know more about, like, that dynamic. Because maybe you're
Yeah.
overthinking. Sorry,
I'm
I'm, like, totally cutting
sorry,
you
no.
off. I hear the...
Well, Hunty and I, we have a mutual best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she's bestie material. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's the best. But
Mm-hmm.
she's had her best friend since birth, and we
Mm-hmm.
respect that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't like it's not like we're gonna unfriend her for that because like
Exactly.
we weren't each other's first friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
that's a different
Yeah.
story. That's a
Mm-hmm.
different story.
Exactly.
But you just kind of like know your place. Like I'm a good friend to her, and she treats me as such. Like
Exactly. And I just feel like that's how you just should like maybe just switch your mindset a little bit to just like start treating your friends all the same. And just because they're not like your best friend doesn't mean you need to treat them like any other way. Just like
yeah,
be yourself and just have fun with them. Like
yeah.
it's not deep.
Just don't be telling your friends, you're best friend number 2. So
Like literally,
I
like
can't tell
that's
you that.
crazy. Don't be doing that, you guys, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's terrible.
So this was actually more of like a thoughtful question because I think
Yeah.
this is really valid and I feel like a lot of people go through this. And if anyone was to answer this question, I think we have some good ideas.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is just saying, hey, I need advice on not getting burnt out at work, which I think is actually a really good question because I think a lot of us get burnt out at work and
Yeah.
it's valid.
I
But
feel
what
like
do
we
you
could
think?
have multiple tips. So my
Yeah.
first tip is do not bring work home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you start like you clock in, start work, clock out,
Yes.
and work. Don't ever think about outside of work.
Exactly. I think yeah, that is like probably the most important one, and that's something I'm learning to do a little bit more because I feel like sometimes I'm an oversharer and like I feel like maybe towards the end of the day, that's like when I like to debrief. But sometimes I realize that like does more harm than good. Like
Yeah.
I starts to make me think like a certain way. Like so, say like there's like drama that happened or something, it would make me feel some type of way if I like go home and like continuously talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like I move forward a little bit more when I make it not deep type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, because like if you make work consume your life, you're gonna get burnt out because it's not something you want to do. But if you just make work just like a time and place, and then you have your life outside of work, that's
Yeah.
like how that's the best thing to do for your just mental well-being.
hmm
Yeah.
And then I would also do like some other tips. Do you have any other? I'm like blanking right now.
I would maybe say like you know how we always have like a hobby? Like it gives us a little bit more
Yes.
purpose outside of like just work in general because I feel like sometimes especially when you just like life is just kind of the norm, you start to lose the spark a little and then work just becomes it feels like it's your entire life.
Yeah.
And then once you hit that point, it's just every day just feels the same and it just you get more burnt out. But if you try to find things like little hobbies, something to make you like look forward to like outside of work, that
Yeah.
is like the best thing you can do for yourself. Like just starting like our podcast, like this is something we've been working on for the past 4 months.
Yeah.
And I will say, like whenever I'm like kind of get to that like existential crisis, like little mindset, I always think I'm like, ah, but I'm so glad I have this podcast because it's like there's just so much possibility and opportunity with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. There's like other things to explore. Like, are you
Mm-hmm.
living to work or working to live? You
Yeah.
know, like
Mm-hmm.
try to find some balance, even if it's at an extreme. Like if you're extremely consumed by work, do something that has as much power with another thing, like the hobbies that Hunties was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
My
sure.
personal thing, aside from this podcast, it was reading. Like, I just didn't want to think about reality.
She's a reader.
So, I am a reader. And
she's a reader.
some episodes we could talk about book plots. If you guys
Please. I love it. That's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Coley will just go over, like, because I personally cannot read a whole entire book like she can. Like, it takes me, like, way longer. But she can read it in, like, a little sitting. Like, she'll just, like, literally sit down, all of a sudden get up, finish the book. But she'll just explain all these book plots in like the funnest way and like digestible, where it feels like she's like spreading like the drama, and it's perfect. So look forward to that because it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, so honestly, comment books and then I'll read them, and
that's how it'll be.
Talking segment to it.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm actually really excited for that.
Alright guys, okay, so this is our cigarette break segment. So during this segment, we'll kind of just talk about random things, like the lore, the drama, the tea.
We're just gonna talk about all things, like, and today I had a little question for you. Like, what has been like your hyperfixation this week? Like something you just like think about frequently and like in depth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, mine is kind of negative.
Okay, spill.
I've been in a rut lately, and it was kind of like progressed to more than a rut, but we're managing it now.
Yes,
but
yes.
My hyperfixation is making hate lists. So I have them categorized into my phone, like, it was like mental, emotional, physical, miscellaneous, and then like I think it was another thing like random thoughts or like my day, and so many segments. So anytime I feel like so intensely like hateful and negative, I'm like, okay, well, what do I hate right now? And some of them are. Let me actually pull things up right now. Like
she got it pulled up. Pull it up.
Let's see. Like, I just wrote everything I hate, so I don't have to think about it. It's just like toss it out the window type of thing.
Actually, I feel like that could be like a very therapeutic thing. Like, because I feel like sometimes, I feel like a lot of people are like, they think of like writing down the negative is like a bad thing, but in a way I think it's a healing thing because it like allows you to like actually express how you're feeling, which is like important rather than trying to like repress it. Like, you know what I mean?
You're kind of like just throwing it out the window, you know?
It's like saying it so then you can like move on type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you feel like from it?
Yeah, like it's kind of like journaling, kind of like journal about your day. Yeah. I'll just journal about, or I'll add so many things to the hate list. Like as my days go by, you just see me whip out my phone.
She's like,
someone looks at me funny.
She said, "Oh, I'm adding that to the list."
Yeah.
Wait, honestly, that's crazy, but I love that for you.
Thank you.
It's therapeutic, you know?
Well, what about yours?
Ooh, my hyperfixation has been waking up early. I think about it all the time. Yes, it's something that I'm like really trying, because it's so hard for me to wake up.
Yeah,
like, I don't know why. And I'm like trying to find like what is the best routine to do to like wake up early and feel like energized, because I saw this like one podcast. She was talking about how like it's really important for you to have like a good morning routine just for like your overall like mental health, and like it just has so many benefits as if you like wake up early, go to the gym, and finish your to-do list, like have a day before work type of thing. Because like usually when I get off of work, I'm always already so drained that like I don't actually do anything that like I want to get done. Like, I don't know. It can be anything, you know? So I've been hyperfixating on, like, what's the best routine? Like, should I be waking up at 5? What's the best alarm to wake up to?
Yeah.
Like, should I take a shower? Like, is that good? Like, I shouldn't drink caffeine, like, an hour after I wake up. Like, things like that, you know?
Ooh.
So I've been, like, really hyperfixating. So far, what I've learned is that there is a lot of benefits of waking up early. It's important to drink water right when you wake up. Less screen time, just because it'll make you more productive. The other one that like stood out to me is going, like, if you're someone that has like the goal of like going to the gym, and it's like really hard for you to find motivation, going right in the morning is like the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because going after work, you're most likely won't do it if you're not like excited to go already, type of thing.
Even if you're burnt out, it's like, okay, well, right now I don't have the energy, and I don't want to get in my car, go to the gym, come home from the gym, shower, get ready for bed, you know?
Exactly.
It's like kind of time consuming.
Yeah.
So doing the morning sometimes gets you energized. For me, that's what it does.
Yeah, that's another thing. They were talking about how that will like make you so energized. And like also another thing just for like your mental well-being it helps if you actually go like get the hardest task done first thing in the morning, because it's like a snowball effect of everything else feels like easy, quote unquote. So it's kind of like gets you on like a dopamine. I don't know if it's dopamine, something like that,
Yeah.
where it just makes you feel like super like excited and like ready and like just high vibrational.
Yeah.
Like not super like negative or overthinking, things like that.
It's like that one analogy. It's like you have a jar and you want to fill it with as most things as possible. So you'll start with the big rocks, then you'll go for like the smaller rocks and then the pebbles, and then you fill the rest with sand. Because imagine you did the sand first, that's all piled up at the bottom, and then you do the like big rocks, and then you don't even have enough room to put any other rocks.
That part.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get it. You get it. So yeah. So that's been my hyperfixation, but yeah. Just routine, morning routine, honestly.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like there's no better way but to start at least end the first episode.
Yeah.
By just, diving deep into shallow waters.
Yeah, which is the name of our next segment.
Yep, which is the name of our next segment. So we're going to be diving deep into shallow waters. And today we're talking about, like, what makes us anxious. Because obviously we're a little anxious and we want to just like, I don't know, just talk about, I don't know, Coley, what makes you anxious? And you can go on a list of things.
Yeah.
Nothing specific.
And I do feel like anxiety is that type of thing, or maybe it is because I'm too out of touch with the world, but it's one of those things that are starting to get talked about more and more and more. Like, it's becoming more common than it was back, like, 10 years ago. That's why we're kind of, like, diving deep into it. So some things that make me anxious is I do have social anxiety disorder, so I hate when I'm in a room and I don't know majority of the people. Like, it has to be, I have to know at least 70% of the people in the room before I'm comfortable. If that's not the case, I will burn out quickly and my social battery will die.
No, honestly, yeah. I feel like I agree to that. Like, I remember, like, in school, I mean, I was never, like, diagnosed with anything. Like, this is just, like, personal experience of, like, whenever I'd get, like going to, like, birthday parties or things like that, I would find any excuse in the book. Or just hanging out with people in general. I'd find any excuse to just, like, not hang out with people. Just because if I, like, knew that this, like, what we were doing was, like, going to be hanging out with other people. And, like, honestly, mine's, like, a little bit less. Like, if I don't know at least like 80%, maybe like even more than that. Like I feel like I need to know everyone at least, because if I'm ever left alone and they have to go to the bathroom, that gives me so much anxiety of being like, who do I talk to? Do I just go on my phone? Like, it's like little things where I know a lot of people don't think, or maybe they do, I don't know. But like a lot of people don't like express and like talk about, but like I get super anxious about like that type of setting and just not knowing what to do and just feeling like a deer in headlights is literally what it feels like.
And it's so interesting because I feel like you could relate to this too, but I feel like a lot of people I talk to, they're surprised when I say I'm mostly introverted. Like, I feel like I'd be both introverted and extroverted, but I am very, very introverted when I'm in that type of environment where I don't know a lot of people. I just don't, like, I don't want to drain myself. So a lot of people I'm close with, they're like, well, you're so bubbly, you're so extroverted, basically. But that's not always the case. You know?
And like adding on to that, I feel like, let me know if you agree with this, but like sometimes when people are like, oh, well, like you seem so extroverted, I feel like sometimes when I'm like the most extroverted, depending on like who I'm with, of course, but like sometimes it's just like a show because I'm like trying to just feel like included, or like it's like I just want to like match the energy, but sometimes that's not like me actually. It's just like in that moment I love to also, maybe this is also a people pleasing thing, but I like to just make everyone feel comfortable. And sometimes I know like if I'm like actually like anxious, it makes other people uncomfortable, like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to do that, but like so I always try to like be like super extroverted and bubbly, but like sometimes I'm like, it's just a show, which is like,
it's true.
I don't know.
It's true. Like, incorporating that with the dating world, I hate dating because you're not trying to lose. Dating at this age is terrible because if you're not interesting enough, they won't get interested in you or to you. I don't know what the correct grammar is.
No.
They won't be interested. So the whole time when you're dating, you kind of just have to put all your best facts forward. And then it kind of hypes you up too much. And I personally feel like after 2 weeks, I've made the guy bored. Like, he doesn't want to talk to me because I put my best foot forward. I put my like best show of a personality forward, where now I'm burnt out. Like, I don't even want to play this game no more.
You're like, no more.
And myself is not enough.
Drop the mic. That was deep, but that was real. I
It
mean,
was
like,
real.
these are real, and I feel like a lot of people do relate to that in, like, just this day and age.
Hmm.
Like, it truly is so tough out there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But yeah.
But I feel like, okay, I also, when did you, like, notice that, like, you had anxiety? Like, was it at, like, a very young age? Or, like, did you, like, recently discover it where, like, now looking back, being like, oh, it started, like, this time? Or, like,
Yeah.
do you not know?
I'm gonna be so for real.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would describe my childhood pretty interesting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of blacked out. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to tell me a memory, half the time I would be like, "Are you dreaming that?" Or
You're
did
like,
that
that
actually
never
happen?
happened. Yeah.
Exactly. But my mom would describe me as pretty shy. Like, I was really shy to other people. I had really, really low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't like being in large crowds. I didn't like. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
My mom
yeah.
just said I had low self-esteem, so that's why she put me into competitive figure skating to help with that.
Yeah.
But that's an example. But I don't personally remember feeling anything abnormal. Well, if that's what I've been feeling my whole life, that is my normal.
Right. That's
So,
totally.
But I noticed it was more above and beyond. I think my freshman year of high school, freshman to sophomore year, and then it started snowballing after that rapidly. Because I think everything before that was just kind of like a
Just
little
like
bit,
whatever.
a little sprinkle bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't until transitioning to a new school, not knowing the environment, or feeling feeling really competitive in high school.
Yeah.
Trying to be good, like do all
Trying to
your
get certain
APs,
grades.
yeah, being included in the school, doing sports, and a lot of burnout just trying to keep up with that friend.
Yeah. I feel like in a way I like agree to like my own personal childhood too.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I don't really know if I can like pick a time when I knew I was like an anxious person. And my family was the same. Like I was actually someone where if I ever went anywhere, I would not talk to them unless I was like I would have to like whisper to my parents, which I don't like
so cute,
know.
though.
Like that was literally how and everyone like would most people would get mad at me, of course, but like it was too scary. Like I don't know what it was, but I guess maybe my anxiety started very young.
Yeah.
I think yeah, but I was so shy. Like even like I didn't even start ordering. This is like this is crazy. I didn't even start like ordering for myself at like restaurants, things like that until like maybe 7th grade. I'm not even joking because like it would actually like I felt like I would have panic attacks. I don't know even know why.
Oh.
Like but I didn't realize there were panic attacks until like after the fact. I think more recently I discovered like what a panic attack was just because I feel like once you have like one kind of really bad experience then you like think back and you're like oh I had like small experiences but like plenty of them in the past. Do you agree on that? Like where it's like oh that was like a start of it and if it like continued it would have became this. You know?
I was literally telling Hunter earlier this day, like my first sign of some sort of compulsive disorder like OCD, you know?
Yeah.
With fucking crayons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. I thought that was just me being a brat, but
no, it goes deeper than that. Like,
yeah.
And you don't realize it until like you actually educate yourself. And like, cause I feel like a lot of the time we're so taught to kind of like push things under the rug, like be normal, like fit into like whatever. So we like try to like we just push things under, like we make it like not deep.
Yeah.
When in reality, there's a lot of things, especially in your childhood. Like I know we both took psychology, and like we both know that like really the childhood is kind of just like where it all begins, you know?
The moment you open your eyes, any little decision after that really does shape
who
you
you
into
are.
Adulthood.
Exactly. And you don't really realize it, but I think it really is important to like educate yourself on like just your own mental well-being, like the littlest things. Like I think nowadays it's more common for people to test for like ADHD and like things like that, which I think is great because like it does kind of help you understand your body a little bit more. You know what I mean? And just think of it on a deeper level because a lot of it does stem again from like your early childhood, and as an adult now it's really all about I feel like aligning yourself to just become your happiest self, whatever that means for you, you know. And like there's no certain way to do it, but there is definitely like as long as you're putting your like needs first and making sure that your overall well-being like every day is like your needs are being met, that's like the best we can do, you know.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's you as well, but I personally, when I feel any sort of discomfort or I enter any like unknown territory and I feel anxious or just any type of negative emotion, I want to find out the why. And because I think that just gives me some sort of clarity. So after consulting a doctor, like a medical professional about all of this, it felt so much better because whenever I felt this way,
Mm-hmm.
I could find a solution for it. Like, I
Right.
would know a different approach to taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than not knowing what to feel and not knowing what to do, that just adds to it.
Exactly. Yeah, like I really agree. Like that part, like a lot of people do. I think it's really common for a lot of people to question like the why, like why is this happening? Things like
Yeah.
that. And so then once you kind of do go to a professional or just someone that's very knowledgeable, but I always recommend go to a professional because they
Yeah.
can give you like the best advice for your personal experience and everything. But just getting that validating experience of being like you're not crazy, like you know,
Yeah.
like what you were
Yeah.
going through. There's more to the story than just what meets the eye.
Yeah.
So I think just getting that decision probably. I mean, like it sounds like it helped like so much.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
It really did.
It really
That's
did, and yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, I feel like we have just so much more to unpack with anxiety, and I feel like Coley and I could talk here for hours
Yeah.
about it. But that's why you guys have to tune in next Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
Every Wednesday, guys.
Every Wednesday. And I want y'all to literally get your little dinner, be ready, be iPad kids, watch
Yeah.
our little podcast, tune in, because you never know what you're going to hear. Like,
And Hunty and I are really excited
Yes.
because we decided to just have fun with it. Let this be our creative mind dump.
Yes.
Because even without this podcast, we do meet up every Sunday
We do.
to just reset,
Uh-huh.
debrief, talk about the most random things. So
Mhm.
might as well document it. But
Exactly.
we are sharing an Instagram and a
Mhm.
TikTok and a YouTube.
Yes.
But YouTube won't be as consistent as our podcast
Mm-hmm.
with like miscellaneous content.
Mhm.
And then we have our TikTok for just random
Yes.
silly content.
Silly
And then
things.
Instagram is kind of our photography, like photo digital dump,
Mhm.
which we like.
Yeah, so if you really like the aesthetics, you like mood
Yeah.
boards, like tune in. And plus, like, if you guys do, you know, end up liking us, we would just love to see your support on like all of our platforms.
Yeah.
And like Coley was saying with our YouTube channel, so like of course we're gonna be posting like our podcast episodes, but we're also gonna be making some fun videos. Just
Yeah.
like all the little things to just like deep dive on like us. And this is just our little creative project, our little
Yeah.
passion project, and something we get to share to you guys. And like she was saying, like we just do this for fun anyways. We always talk
Yeah.
about, you know, all the things. So
Yeah.
might as well document it like she was saying. But we already love you guys. Like I just know the people that get us, we get you. We get you
The
and we
girls
love
that
you.
get it.
The girls that get it.
The guys that get it, they can be the girls.
They can. And as you should. We will see you guys next week.
Love.
We love you and kisses.
Kisses. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Let's do a little applause. End it with a little sound.